if your building, for instance, looks like this, and you want to take the elevation. If I look at the elevation from here, I would see this as 90-degree elevation from my perspective, and this would be projected. And this is what we want to avoid in our construction documents. We will not project any dimension, so that if I make an elevation, I would come to here and I will drag lines similar to the architecture representations like this, and drag line from here and draw my ground line, and this is the main elevation that I see, and this is going to be projected. In other words, every dimension that you see here will not reflect a clear or a real dimension, so that all of these, if you have windows, for instance, here, it will be projected so that it's not going to show exactly what is the dimension of the window here, so that we avoid having this. Instead of this, we will come to the building and draw our elevation looking at it from the side, and chop here and crop here. That is one elevation, and we come to here and draw another elevation, and this is one, and this is crop here and crop here. We'll come here and draw this. Of course, if I apply the same concept, I will see this and portion of this, and I do not project that, so that I stop here and stop there for my elevation, and I come here, draw another elevation, and come here, draw another elevation, and come here, draw another elevation, so that everything should be projected in 90 degrees. You don't project any inclined surface to the vision that you're seeing, because this is not an actual reflection for your building. So that in this case, what you would show is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 elevations. And how you present it, you present them side by side, so that this is 1 and this is 2, so that you will come here and present 1. And 2 is continuation of it, but it's from different angle. But you can crop here by showing the that it has a continuation, but you crop it because it's not going to be reflected as shown properly. And then you also come to this one and this one, and also do it the same way, so that it's as if like you're not projecting any inclination or any angle of the elevation that you see. The other comment that I just told you about is that if you do have, for instance, landscape in front of your building here, you have maybe approaches and you have trees like this in here. If you project it and look at it from here, you would see trees like this and tree like this. This is not a construction working. This is not a working drawing. You have to unhide those or remove those in order to reveal the building, because the concept here is not to show the building aesthetically, how the tree is interacting with the building. The concept is to show exactly how your building will look like. So this is regarding your elevations. And let me just flip back here. So these are regarding the two notes that we apply in elevation and apply in sections as well. So that also the sections is not going to be like if you do have a building and you are making a section in it, also like this, you do not draw your section continue like this, because anything else you would see outside the rigid element or the 90 or the vertical horizontal thing will be projected, and that is what we want to avoid. So instead, you will cut and make another elevation, another section here, so that your section show logic what it needs to be shown in your building to avoid having any inclination as well. Right. Let me share back the software. طبعا as I showed you before, this is a section that you can you expect here, or you can, if it's shown, you can create similar and do another section perpendicular to it, or you can go to this ribbon up there and do a section. And I think also it's shown in view section. You can view the section that you want and drag it. It will draw your section and show it to you like this directly, so that you don't have to worry about building your section from scratch. It's already there. If you want to flip the vision, you can flip it like this. If you wanted to limit the scope of what it sees, you can do it like this, so that it will trim or crop the view for you. Also, the depth of what is shown, you can come to here and draw your section like this, so that if I stop here, all of the back walls will not be shown. If you extend it to outside, the back walls will be shown. So that let's just see that as an elevation. Of course, because I don't have anything in here, it shows to me as if it's a white thing. So that if I do the level 1 again and I create a wall, a window, so that I place it here, and I get to my elevation, I see the little window here. If I want to crop that and don't want to show the back walls, I can come back to the level, and instead of picking that, instead of showing the whole depth, I can drag this to the inside and double click on it. It will show me just things that I'm cutting through, with limiting the depth of what I want to see. Of course, you can develop elbows, as we talked about here. You can create elbow, or you can cut in here, and you can let me see that. Pick this. You can crop for sure, and you can split, so that once you split, if you want to split, I don't want to show something that is outside my building, so that I can split it from here and drag it to this portion if I want to, or drag this as I want to see it, so that this is a section that is just projecting two different lines for me. And I have to be careful with this, not to mess up what I want to show in my building. So that this is how can you do it in details, what we want to show in our section. We drew it last time, this slab, and we talked about the footing, and we show the footing is in here. Now this is shown because I already make topography of my building, but if you do not make topography on the site plan, you won't see this as hatch. So this is one thing you have to take care of. If I go to the site, let's see, floor plan. The site I have shown to you, these are some of the topography that I have. That's why when I make a section, I see that in my section, and that is something that is if you don't see it because you don't have topography, you have to develop it, and I will show you how to make something close to that. Now the other thing that is also something that we have to treat is the you have to show the footings in your building, so that represent the plain footing, and on top of it we've seen the enforced footing and the beams that are connecting it. Since I'm cutting in it, it shows to me like this. I didn't finish all of it, so that's why here it's not shown. But the thing is that it's hidden behind the earth material that I have created here, so that if you didn't do it in topography, you won't have problem like this. If you do it in topography, you will see that hidden like that. So what you will do is that you can come into annotate, and you see the region here, and you can mask the region. So mask the region means that you are hiding the outer layer that you would see in it, and that gives you a chance to show what is beneath, what is behind this earth material. So that I will come here and I'll mask it like this and hit OK, so that it will hide this for me. So that this is here. What you can do also, you can go to, instead of having region, you can fill region, and you start to draw maybe random lines to show the to show your edges like this of your earth material. And of course, you have to shift back to these lines straight in here like this, and you fill it, so that you fill this region, so that after finishing it will show you like this. You can go to edit type, and instead of using this fill hatch, you pick the hatch of the earth, and that is can you see it from here, earth. You can adjust the scale for sure, as I showed you before. This has the advantage to show those directly, but if you do have the topography, you can do it using the method that I just showed you. So that I want to see at the end the columns that are, which is the pedestals, or the column that is hidden beneath the earth, connecting it the building to the footing that we would see from here. So the piece out of this one also is building our beams. When you have columns, you have those slabs, and the beams should be below them, connecting the two columns, similar to what we have in the beams below there, right? So the way to do this is that you will come to the level that you want to construct your beams at. I will go to level 3, and so this is our level 3, and we have some. These are the columns that I have here, and this is the structure, by the way, so that you have to pay attention that you go to level 3 in terms of levels, elevations, and of the structure. You have to go to. So this is the structure. Okay, floor plans, level 2, level 3. These are the level plans that we are in. So that is my two columns here. I want to connect a beam between them, so that it asks me now, similar to what we have done before, you can go to structure and you can create your beam. And of course, since we have a beam already created from here, it tells us what is the dimension of the beam, and I can inspect the dimension of I have, so that I have to measure first my wall, because I want to embed my beam in here between this and that is about 20 centimeters. And or if I want to, this is the same as well, so that I can from here, that is 20 centimeters, so that I can draw my beam between here and the other column, as you see here, so that I can also back to the beam and edit type. And I have to duplicate. Do not forget this, because if you keep everything as is, it's gonna change the beams on grade that you've just created. So that I want to make it 20, maybe by 60, 60, and hit OK, so that this is 0.2 and this is 0.6. So these are the dimensions that I have for my beam, and of course you will have other information if you're working with structural analysis or something like this. It will you have to define these in here by hitting OK. We've created our so that we can come here, and first, before doing the drawing, we want to know the things here. What is the reference line? Is it level 1 or 2 or 3? I want to do it from level 3, and pay attention. If I draw it, let's draw it and then see what happened. Here is the what is the offset that you want to do. So that it's, if I do it at level 2 here, and beam. Okay, the placement plane here, I was mistakenly do it as level 2, so they have to pick level 3. For me, structure usage, 3D snapping, chain, or whatever. If I want to make certain beams beside each other, you have to select the chain. But here it's making the reference level 3, so that do not forget this, as I did. And you construct your beam. It's not shown here because it's above the cut. That is fine. And hopefully now we draw it for us. Yes, here it is. Now the beam, that the warning that we have seen is that because of the overlap, you see at the reference line of the section, it was respecting level 3 without any projection, without any offset from it. That's why it overlapped with the slab. So that what we can do here is that we can measure the dimension that we have from the elevation up to the slab bottom, which is 0.3, and then start our beam after that, so that we can come to here and we offset that. Y or Z offset is I think it's the Z 0.3. Then apply, so that we see that now the beam, as you see the line is here, you see that this is our line, and that is the slab line. You see that those are the difference between them, so that they are not overlapped with each other. Technically, you can start doing your beam starting from here and go down. That is not a problem, but you better avoid having the overlapping, as we see. So that those are the beams that are drawn, so that you can copy those as you want to from here to there, and for your lower level as well. If they have the same location, you can copy and paste, so that I can come to here and copy and then paste. Okay, so this is match. This is the match. Paste from clipboard, and it will ask me. Okay, this is not what we're looking for. Paste line to select the level. Ask me about which level you want to have the beam to, so that you can go to level 2 and hit OK, and then it will create it at the same position, same offset from here. Because here I did not make a slab yet, it just showed to me like this. But here is what we also want to look at in here, so that if we do have materials from the same two elements from the same materials, better not to have these line separated like this, so that you can use that join. Do is that you go to the join geometry and join your beam with the slab, join your slab with the wall, and join your beam with the wall, so that this will clean everything that is not shown that is overlapping. So that here I clean the lines that are interacting or intersecting. If you don't see this clean directly, what you can do is just you go to the other command, which is switch join order, because if the join order is switched, you might see something different in it. So that like this, I switch the order so that I give priority to my wall, so that it hides the slabs. But if I give priority to the slab again and switch the order, it will show to me the slab like this, because I'm cutting in the slab and I'm showing this to me. So this is what you need to have, and I want to see at the end continuous line hatched like this in the section. You see that, and of course you have to do it from the other side like this. So let's let me just showed you, I think, in here. Let me do this one more time because of the conflict that we have in here. Now, the thing that I had as a mistake is I was trying to join two materials in the two different materials in the platform or in the software, which it did not accept. So that you have to make sure, because if you are working with the concrete, you will find several ones that have the same names. So that better to check that it's different. So that you open the material library and you go to the naming of the concrete in here, and you want to make sure that it's the same as the slab in order for them to join. So that I have this as cast in place. Do not select cast in place gray or concrete cement screed or something like this. Make sure that you pick the same material so that for order for them to join. If you pick two different materials, there's no way, even if you join or arrange the order of the layers, to join if they are not from the same material. So that I can just do this one more time. So we go to level 2 here, and I would construct another beam. And I pick the right one, and of course you have to specify what level, and since we specified before level 3, so that's why level 3 is shown to me. And then I can come here and draw my beam. It doesn't have a column here, but it has to show to connect to a column. And that is my other beam. I did not shift the location for it, so that I can do this. I can come here and shift this to -0.3, so that it starts right behind the slab. Now, as I see here, see that is not even if you if you do have this like that, it won't. The line is shown here. I want to clean this, so that what you do is that you pick it and you come to this join thing. Join every 3 elements together. Join the wall, the slab, the beam with the wall. Join the slab with the wall. Join this with that. And after that, you can come and clean or change the order of the layers that you want to have, so that you can come here. See, this is, I think, the same mistake. This is cast in place. This has to be adjusted, so that we pick it first. We pick the beam, and we make sure that our beam has the same materials, so that we go there. Because the default was this, so that I did not create similar instance from the other beam. That's why it's not shown. So that once you unify the materials, you see that this is a clean line shown like this. Equation of the beam with the slab and the other beam. There is no lines, there is no intersection, nothing unclean, nothing overlapped like this. So this is what you really need to show in your elevation, your section. As we said before, also the axes shown with bubble lines from top. You don't show it from bottom, so that you can, if it's shown, you can come here, and then if you click in here, it will show. If you unclick, it will be hidden. So that we don't want to have any things below the foundation. You just show it from here, and of course you show the dimensions on top and show the overall dimension. You don't show any opening because the roof doesn't have opening in it, and you show the levels by the naming and the dimension, so that you can come also here and do the dimensions from one to the other and continuation like this to show your dimension. You can show it from both sides or from one side, so that you refer back to your assignment, what is needed in it. You can check these dimensions and show it as one of the requirements in there. So that if I'm referring to the tag, so here the level is showing here the level of the finished materials. It's not showing the level of the slab. So that I have here several levels. I have my level in here, level in there, the level of the roof, the bottom of the slab. Now, if everything is straightforward, it's a straightforward. Like if I have my flooring system like this, and I have my slab like this, I can still do this, and that is, I will show you one of the reasons when we annotate to different levels, so that here it senses that level as 0, 0. If I go up in here, it senses that. It senses the bottom here as 8.2. It does not sense what is in between. It does not sense whether I'm on my top of the slab or not. Now, some school says that when you refer to leveling the different stories that you have, you refer to the top of your concrete. Some other school, you say, refer to the top of the finish. Now, the top of this of the structural material is important sometimes, because that is the fixed one. If suppose you have some slopes similar to the roof, which level you're referring to? So that in other words, you might have here a level. If you go inside, you might have, see, the level changes here because I have a slope. It has a slope, so that it does not recognize which one you're referring to. I mean, like if I say 8.5 mistakenly, the contractor would say that the roof is level, but it's not. So it's better to refer to here or the bottom of the slab, and then the contractor will do the math and find what are the other things that are in here. So that and I prefer to use actually the top of the slab as upper level, and that can be done, by the way, instead of taking the slab like this, the level of the level 1, for instance, you make the slab starting from level 1 and the finishes flying from level 1, so that you draw your level, and above it you put the finishes, below it you put the slab. So that the level is referring to the top of the structural element, not the top of the finishes. But the thing is that you have to be consistent. If you prefer to be like this and refer to the top of the finishes, you have to be consistent among all of your levels. You have to refer to the same exact notation. So that if you are referring to the top of the slab, level 2 top of the slab, level 3 top of the slab, and the roof bottom of the slab. If you are referring to the finished materials, you refer to the finished material for all of the levels. And when you come to the roof, also you avoid referring to the top, because the top has some slopes in it, and it will be deceiving for the contractor which point you're referring to. Or maybe you can write a note that the highest point in that is that level, and then check the slope of the tiling to refer to the different slopes. But that is something you might avoid having by referring to the top of the structural element rather than the top of the